Hey everybody, welcome to the stream and welcome back to Star Trek Judgement Rites. So yeah, last time I kind of had to stop the stream because I just got stuck, which is always a risk in these point-and-click adventure games. But the funny thing happened right after. You see, I didn't know what to do, so I ran out of ideas of what to do next. So I took a break. Later, a couple hours later, I thought, okay, let me go back to the game just to see if there's something I can do to get myself a little bit unstuck. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll play a little bit off stream, just enough to figure out what my next step will be. First thing I try, I'll show you once we start. I didn't need to do anything long. I just first thing I tried already showed what I needed to do next. So. Just goes to show that sometimes all you need is a short break in these point-and-click adventure games, and you can get through it. Yeah, let's. Nope.
Load a previously saved.
I learned my lesson. I'm skipping the intro because otherwise YouTube will claim it. It will think that I'm actually playing the original Star Trek theme. The first game, the Star Trek 25th Anniversary, had a more meaty soundtrack. This one has a much more intro that's much closer to the original series, so YouTube will identify that. So if you, I didn't skip it the first time. So if you want to hear it, you can go up to the first episode. I think it's number 4. Yeah. Okay, everything looking okay. Yeah. Hey Zat, welcome. Okay, I just noticed that the little black line on the game is actually part of the game itself. Hang on. See if I can get drop a little bit out of it. There you go. And then. Yeah, that looks better. So yeah, a little recap. We were wandering around on the Enterprise. We got a distress signal, and then follow it to this planet where there was this completely abandoned place and this very deserted planet. And there were readings of life signs, but they were just single-celled organisms, apparently. And they were apparently all that was left of these two warring races. And there were also computers that had an AI and a hologram that projected a hologram of the AI that spoke to us. And they each represented the side of this war, one of the races. Apparently one was called the Alphans and the other were called the Omegans. And they each said that the other was invading them, or one apparently lived in shadow and the other lived in light. And so with this ensign thought they were like angels and demons, didn't want to help them. But eventually we got the single-celled organisms that were all that was left of their genetic material, I guess, of their each races. And Kirk proposed that it looks like they had some similarities, and that they maybe should try and join together. I guess their organisms to try combine to form a new race. So that's what we did with these machines here. And we generated a new sample of a new genetic material and put it in this computer, which activated a third hologram of this other race, which he dubbed the Gammons. But as you can see, it's the message is corrupted. We can talk to him, but
thank you for your hard work. You have fulfilled the design for which we were created. I am authorized to tell you. Thank you for your hard work.
Yep.
You have fulfilled the design for which we were created. I am authorized to tell you.
So, soon after we activated this, the Enterprise detected that there were some signals being broadcast to the planet, but the Enterprise couldn't read them. But outside of this building, there were some antenna arrays that I assumed would be used to read the signal being broadcast to us, but they were not powered. If I could...
The array appears to have deployed recently, which explains its lack of damage. The focal point of the dish is aligned approximately 35 degrees above the horizon.
We have these control panels, but the control panels are not
This
powered.
appears to be similar to Federation technology, Captain. Its control principles are similar to the Medaille sensor dish on Vulcan. It has locked the array at a 35-degree angle. Without knowledge of the code control sequence, I cannot adjust it. I also detect that its power core is not functioning. It operates on geothermal energy, tapping into heat from the ground below.
And yeah, that is Leonard Nimoy providing the voice of Spock. All the main cast are reprising their roles here. William Shatner and DeForest Kelley and Leonard Nimoy. So it very much feels like playing another episode of the original series. Each chapter in the game feels like an episode of the original series. So yeah, this is where we got stuck. I didn't know how to power up those antenna arrays and didn't know what else to do. So once I started the game up again to see, oh, okay, let's see if I can figure out what to do, I thought, okay, maybe I'll use the phasers on these rocks to, like, see if there's something buried.
Captain, my tricorder indicates that those rocks are too far from the source of geothermal energy. I recommend returning to the antenna arrays.
There you go. Oh, hey, hi Patrick, thanks for hosting. So yeah, that was the first thing I tried already. Spock gives a little hint that we were supposed to use the phasers on the rocks to heat it up because the antennas use geothermal energies. Yeah, I got lucky that very early on. But yeah, these, as he said, those rocks were very far away from the antenna. So, okay, yeah, they did say before that the antennas use geothermal energy, but I assumed that the geothermal energy was way below the ground, and I needed to activate something to get it going again. I didn't think that all I needed to do was just heat up the rock around it with my phasers. Oh yeah, let's give it a shot. I didn't play any beyond that, so. Yeah, this is one away mission where there are no red shirts. Usually there are four characters, and I mean Kirk, McCoy, and Leonard, and Leonard Nimoy, no, Kirk, McCoy, and Spock, and a red shirt. This time they brought this genetics specialist because we were dealing with single-celled organisms stuff. So yeah, let's give it a shot. Heat up the rocks around the antenna. Try and power it up.
The energy level is insufficient, Captain. We cannot generate the energy level needed to provide geothermal energy with hand phasers.
If it's thermal energy you want, Jim, I remember this planet that used a starship's phasers on a microwave setting to heat the surrounding rock to provide temporary power.
An interesting observation, Doctor. We could use the same technique here, but the beam would have to be extremely precise. If we targeted the wrong section, we could melt the rock and destroy the array.
Okay. Guess we contact the Enterprise and see. Yeah, now I'm just going to have to figure out what to do. Again, hopefully I won't get stuck early on in the stream.
Mr. Scott requests to know if everything is all right, sir.
Tell Mr. Scott that everything is fine. Kirk out.
Okay. So how do I know?
This appears to be similar to Federation technology, Captain.
Okay, just repeating the same thing. So how can I tell the Enterprise to fire precisely here?
Destroying the control mechanism.
No, I'm not going to fire at the controls. What about that one? No. Yeah, I'm just firing at the rocks. Yeah, I got a little hint as to what I need to do, but not sure how to do it. By contacting Enterprise here.
We're ready to assist in any way we can, Captain. Scott out.
Said I need to know the precise location of the arrays.
Kirk to Enterprise.
Enterprise to Captain. Mr. Scott wishes to know if you're ready to beam up.
Not yet, Uhura. Kirk out.
Okay, that didn't help a lot. I thought... I was hoping that would do much more than I guess I can keep firing on the other rocks, see if anything else happens.
Jim, all you're doing is turning this rock planet into a gravel planet.
Come on, Bones, I'm trying my best here.
Jim, this isn't funny.
Okay.
Captain, I do not believe that will help our mission.
The arid terrain is composed of lava rocks, big and small. It would seem hospitable to a scorpion or a Klingon.
You can look at the sky, I guess. I didn't notice that. I scanned the sky.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain.
Okay, let me try talking to them, because sometimes when you unlock, when you do something to unlock a suggestion of a new action, you know, can I go down here? Sometimes the new dialogue options will appear. Okay, just see if there was some other place that I could go. Okay, let's try talking to them.
Aside from this sensor array, there is nothing unexpected here.
Not quite a picnic spot, but it has its charm.
With the thin atmosphere, sunblock 187 would be nice. You know, Jim, this is not the kind of place to inspire homesick.
I hope they didn't pay the landscapers very many credits for this work.
Okay, how?
The array dish appears to have escaped much of the damage visited upon the rocks.
Oh dear.
Captain, until power has been returned to these controls, there is nothing I can do.
Yeah, but how do I return power to these controls? That's the
I
question.
hope they didn't pay the landscape.
Aside from...
Let me try sky again.
Stars twinkle just a bit through the thin atmosphere.
Maybe I can fire at the sky to indicate where we are.
Jim, have you lost your mind?
Over there, maybe? Yeah, I wonder if there's a specific spot that I can fire that will do something. In the other ones, yeah, in the other places, he said it seemed that I shouldn't be firing at the rocks, but here I can fire at multiple targets. Doesn't seem like any one of them is doing anything.
Captain, that action is irrational.
Nothing on the ground. Okay.
Mr. Scott requests...
Tell Mr. Scott that...
Yeah, everything done. How do I get to the... Okay, maybe we should... maybe we shouldn't be here when the beam is fired at it. Maybe we should be inside.
Doesn't do anything special.
Right. Contacting them
Nothing
again.
to report, Captain.
Tourist season's not over, Lieutenant.
So when do we get shore leave?
Lieutenant, if I scheduled shore leave down on this planet, I'd be the most unpopular captain in the Starfleet. Kirk out.
Ah. Okay.
Kirk to Enterprise. Scotty, can you read me?
Mr. Scott is off duty, Captain.
Oh, never mind. Kirk out.
Yeah. I guess we're back to square one. Am I really going to have to resort to looking up a guide to this point? Or am I just going to keep going around in circles?
Finish your task, human, with our blessing.
Yeah. Why is he still here and the other one disappeared? Kind of strange. Scanning.
This projection is being cycled at 1,000 frames a second, which suggests the equipment was designed to function in the presence of a race that has a sharper visual acuity than the human or Vulcan races.
1,000 FPS, whoa.
The computer is functional, but I detect no connection between the keyboard and the machine itself.
Try contacting
Captain,
here.
we sense that you're close to one of the life forms.
Affirmative, Lieutenant.
Mr. Scott wishes to know whether you're in trouble, sir.
Tell Scotty to stop worrying. We're fine. Kirk out.
Okay. I mean, we're close to the place where the single-celled organisms were. He's not one of the life forms. He's one of the life forms. He's just a projection. What about here?
Captain, we just had a bit of trouble with the communications.
I would speculate a random discharge in the upper atmosphere.
How is your situation, Captain?
We're in the heart of darkness and confronting evil incarnate, but everything's fine. Kirk out.
He's exaggerating.
Uhura here. Nothing unusual to report except for a few discharges in the planet's magnetosphere. And that's probably not too unusual for Onius 2.
I'm glad to see that things aren't too boring while we're away. Kirk out.
Okay. He's saying different things now?
Uhura here. Nothing unusual.
I'm glad to see that
But yeah, apparently you get different communicator messages depending on which room you're in.
Nothing to report.
tourist season.
So
Yeah, I already saw this. Oh dear. We might try the...
Captain, we sense that
Affirmative.
Mr.
Tells.
Yeah, this is the same thing. I might try going outside
Captain.
again.
Affirmative.
Mr.
Tells.
Gotta be something I gotta do outside to activate the antenna array. Okay, what if I try this again?
Captain, my tricorder indicates that those rocks are too far from the source of geothermal energy. I reckon.
Return to the antenna arrays. Okay. Talk to him.
It strikes me as unlikely, Captain, that this world is capable of sustaining the society and culture needed to generate the distress signals we have been receiving from here.
Yeah, I get a feeling there's something I gotta do here. Because the other ones, let's see, like if I try firing the phasers on the other rocks, you'll just tell me not to. Let me try here. Now I can go.
Captain, we are too far from the thermal core to sufficiently heat it.
Thermal core.
Captain, that action is irrational. Captain, we are too far from the thermal core to sufficiently heat it.
Where is the thermal core?
Captain, we are too...
Okay. And what about here? Yeah, sometimes you just gotta try stuff blindly until you stumble upon the answer.
Jim, all you're doing is turning this...
Captain, I do not believe that...
Yeah, this
Jim, all you're doing is...
one seems... Yeah, this place
Jim, all you're...
seems less effective.
Jim, all you're...
What if you scan the rocks?
This rock is a secondary formation produced by the interaction of plates, earthquakes, and volcanism.
Okay, all of them?
This rock is a...
Yeah, maybe I'm going to go back to the first area. Maybe if I scan the rocks, he'll tell me exactly where I need to fire. that is the case, I mean, he told about using a starship, or I thought I assumed we'll use the Enterprise, but by
these rocks are approximately 1.3 billion years old. These rocks are
same thing.
These rocks are
about the sky.
Nothing unusual.
Okay. There's the thermal core on this side. Okay, let's try scanning the rocks.
Captain, although this rock formation does indirectly lead to the thermal core, I suggest finding an area that would allow a more direct transfer of energy.
Uh-huh. Okay.
These rocks are approximately 1.3 billion years old and are volcanic in origin.
Okay. I think I'm getting close to it.
These rocks are...
All of this.
Captain, although this rock formation does
An area that will allow for more direct transfer? Am I missing a path here that I can go to?
These rocks are...
Can I walk somewhere here that I'm not noticing? Yeah, see, they don't say anything when I fire at these rocks, which makes me assume that I'm getting close. Really hope it's not like one weird, very specific point that I need to fire to like reveal some secret passage or something. That would be kind of scummy.
Jim, have you lost your mind?
Okay. Try scanning again.
These rocks are...
Yeah, he just said they're billions of years old.
These rocks are approximately...
These ones, yeah.
Captain, although this rock formation...
This one, he says something different. What about over here?
These rocks are...
No, still... Wait, maybe if I find this area that he's talking about, maybe I can contact the Enterprise to activate weak phaser to heat up the rock. He said there was a thermal core somewhere, but yeah, I don't know where to go. Is there a path hidden behind the antenna? Again, would be kind of scummy if there were. What if I scan those mountains in the distance?
Nothing unusual.
No?
A form of granite, Captain. Primarily composed of potash feldspar.
Potash feldspar?
This world is almost completely barren. The only life forms I can detect are nearby.
Yeah.
As improbable as it might seem, I am getting multiple life form readings from inside this building. The vast majority of the water on this world is trapped within the rocks beneath the ground. It is unlikely that it could be harvested commercially because of the amount of energy it would take to free it. The world is quite normal, though the rocks are rather sparse in silicates. The planet is habitable, but unsuitable for colonization.
Okay, he's just talking about the planet. We're scanning the ground.
The vast majority.
Yeah. I fire at the ground.
I had not thought you capable.
Ah, come on. Fire at the building.
I recommend. Captain, my tricorder.
What about those?
Jim,
rocks?
have you lost your mind?
Getting desperate here, come on.
The bright yellow bowl of the sky is unremarkable, except in that you see absolutely no clouds or flying creatures at all. A natural tower of rocks, apparently volcanic.
Rocks in the corner?
A form of granite, Captain.
Okay. I still think there's something I got to do in that first location.
Captain, my tricorder indicates that those rocks are too far from the...
Okay, if these are too far. I go down. I think there's any hidden paths.
Volcanic in origin, these rocks have been volcanic.
Do something about those rocks, though?
Captain, although this rock formation does indirectly lead to the thermal core, I suggest finding an area that would allow a more direct transfer of energy.
Yeah, how can I find this area? That's
Standard volcanic rock. I would estimate 3.5 on the Mohs hardness scale. Standard.
It says something different if I use Spock instead of using the tricorder.
Captain, although... Captain,
What if I talk to
Mr. Scott requests...
Tell Mr. Scott that...
Yeah, I might need to resort to the guide. I'm starting to get nowhere here.
The dusty red rocks are pitted and well weathered, dust getting everywhere because everything is so dry.
This rocks in the distance here, maybe?
nothing unusual. Nothing unusual. Captain, although this...
I don't even have any other objects. I mean, kind of like it when in point-and-click adventures you find a bunch of objects that gives you different options of things to try. But here, I just have my standard equipment.
Captain, I cannot realign the sensor.
Yeah, that's the next. That's really the next thing I need to do is get power back on these antenna arrays, but can't seem to figure out the next step. I go down here. See any hidden paths?
Captain, until power has... The array dish is quite sturdy and doubtless still functional.
I was really hoping that that first hint that I needed to heat up the rocks with the phasers was enough to like get myself unstuck and get the ball rolling again, but I just got a little bit unstuck, but then got stuck again. It looks like it.
Volcanic in origin. Volcanic. A large crevice going deep into this planet's surface.
Wait, what? Crevice?
A large crevice.
Okay. I heat up this crevice. I go into this crevice. Is this entire thing the crevice? Huh?
A large crevice.
Yeah, but I can't seem to go into this crevice.
I'm just a simple country doctor, not a magician.
Use someone to... Here, you go over
No
there.
effect.
I don't understand any of this, Jim.
This appears to be the most accessible spot to heat the rocks below the ground and generate geothermal energy for the array.
Okay. Just had to, yeah, just had to pick the exact same, very exact spot. Okay, do I fire the phasers here? Or do I contact the Enterprise? I really can't, still can't see any crevice here. It just looks like shadow.
Kirk to Enterprise. Sulu, can you read me?
Sulu here, Captain. How can I help you?
The Enterprise should broadcast a
There we
low-level
go.
microwave beam at the coordinates I am sending.
We have them, Mr. Spock. Get ready. Stand away from the blast area.
Stand by, ready for weapons position.
Okay, that took quite a while to find. It's one specific
Sending
area.
microwaves now.
There we go. Nice.
Temperature near the power coupling is rising rapidly. I estimate a below-ground temperature of 345 degrees Kelvin is required to reactivate the array. It is at 320, 330, 335, 340, 345, 350.
Shut off the beam, Mr. Sulu.
Affirmative, Captain.
Okay.
The array
see.
is now drawing power. We were successful.
Nice. Actually, let me save. That's
Save new game.
good amount of progress.
Game.
And yeah, like I said, this I blame the map designer, the background artist, that this really didn't look like a hole in the ground or a crevice. It just looked like shadow of the rock. But yeah, now we can operate
Captain,
this.
the parameters of this sensor have been preset. I suggest we do not change them unnecessarily.
Okay, I think the only one we need to change is the middle one. Maybe I think that's the only one that was misaligned. Really hope the next puzzles aren't this convoluted or hard to figure out. Getting me worried here. I'll get stuck quickly.
I am now attempting to realign the device to 32.5 degrees.
Yeah, there.
It should now be correctly aligned.
Okay, now what? Okay, let's try the last one. Maybe now that it's aligned, I can go back to that room in the building.
Captain, the parameters of this sensor have been...
Okay, no, only, yeah, like I said, only needed to change the middle one. Okay, that was scary. I was really very close to checking the guide to see what I needed to do, but yeah, thankfully I still managed to figure out on my own. But yeah, that was really devilish. Okay, let's see. Will this work now? Hey. Looks like he's stable now. Can I talk to you now?
Thank you, Captain, for your aid in constituting my people and in the unexpected necessary realignment of our communications array. You have performed admirably. Of the 16 stations reporting at this point, there have been 50% fatalities, 30% other failures, and only 20% successes. One group got points for style.
Points for style?
Huh?
Is this some sort of game?
What?
Not another alien race with a superiority complex. Who are you this time?
Yeah, there's another race monitoring what we're doing here. Doing experiments on
Your
us.
appreciation is welcome, but many questions remain unanswered. Who are you? Points for style? Is this some sort of game? Your appreciation
Yeah, I
is
want,
welcome, but many
this
questions remain unanswered. Who are you?
Yeah, I want to.
I am Satissa, a projection of a synthesis of Ozra and Visner. Clearly you know that the primitive life forms you have been dealing with are incapable of creating that in which you now stand. You will also note that the more demonic of the creatures displayed a passivity you did not expect, while the morally pure creature was aggressive and bloodthirsty.
The contradictions were noted and duly dealt with. I take it you were testing us on our ability to deal with disparate and contradictory inputs.
Yes, your reasoning ability was being tested, as well as your ability to adapt to new ideas when they conflict with deeply held beliefs and cultural customs. You passed quite admirably. The Brassica were impressed.
I'm not clear on who the Brassica are.
Captain, from this site, I can deduce various things about the Brassica. They are taller and more slender than we are. They are possessed of 3 fingers and a thumb on each hand. I suppose bilateral symmetry, and I know they possess greater visual acuity than humans. They visited this place well before humans had left the Cro-Magnon stage of development. And I note they have avoided detection by us, and presumably every other race in the universe, before they decided to send out signals to bring us to their bases.
Thank you, Mr. Spock.
And more you shall know as you continue on the quest. I wish you luck.
Kirk to Enterprise, Scotty, 4 to beam up.
That's it? Okay, I guess that's it for now. Maybe other episodes we'll meet them again.
Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end.
In this case, Bones, a new beginning. We were the midwives for the rebirth of a life form. 2 halves that have been made whole again. That's the way it was meant to be.
And let us hope that this is the end of Ensign John's prejudices.
We can all learn to stop judging people by appearances. Ensign Johns might have done well to remember the biblical representation of Lucifer, appearing in the guise of an angel of light.
You can never trust anybody, and people who look like pointy-eared hobgoblins are definitely at the bottom of the list.
It appears that Dr. McCoy did not learn the lesson of this mission either. Unfortunate, but not unexpected.
Always bantering.
Fortunately, the Alphans and the Omegans learned philosophy and personal belief are not as easily divorced from logic as some would believe. We humans attain our greatest fulfillment when both of them are united.
Really, Captain?
Really? But I've had enough philosophy for one day. I'd rather worry about these Brassica and their cosmic quest.
Well, with me aboard, we're sure to get points for style.
Many questions remain unanswered, Captain.
And there's only one way to answer them.
Captain, message from Starfleet.
Bring it up, Lieutenant.
I have reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. Well done, Kirk. Keep up the good work. I must say, however, your performance is not what we've come to expect from James T. Kirk. I guess we all have our off days, Captain.
Hey.
Kane out.
Ahead, Mr. Sulu. Warp factor 5.
Leaving orbit. Increasing to warp factor 5.
Come on, I did pretty good. Okay, nice. I guess we will go on and start a new chapter. Next episode. Boys.
Spock, where do you think we should start looking for this? Brassica?
Logic suggests that they will present us with opportunities to come to them.
Captain, a message from Starfleet.
On screen.
Captain, the USS Regulus has been forced to cancel its survey mission to the Antares Rift. We've decided to redirect the Enterprise to that mission. The USS Hood will take over for your current assignment.
Of course, the Antares Rift has a rather dangerous reputation.
Nothing the Enterprise can't handle. But be careful. Starfleet out.
Okay, I guess we're going to the Antares Rift.
Save new replace.
Save number 1. Okay, let me check out where the Antares Rift is, so I don't know where to go. The star map. The Antares Rift, number 15. Ah, the red spot on the right. Okay. Okay. Check the star map, and yeah, this is the Antares Rift. Engage. Oh.
Captain's log, stardate 6257.6. We have entered the Antares Rift and found spatial disruptions in the rift that make using warp engines extremely dangerous. Repairs are almost complete on the minor damage we suffered upon entry into the rift. We are continuing our survey using impulse engines.
My poor babies. Warp engines were meant to be used, Captain.
Communications are back online, Captain.
Deflectors at 93% power and increasing.
Captain, undoubtedly that phenomenon would explain many of the strange disappearances in this sector. Still, with our warp engines deactivated, our computers indicate we will be safe.
Uh-oh. That doesn't look good.
Communications are out again, Captain. Is anyone hurt?
If he was human, Mr. Spock's pride might be...
Captain, sensors failed to indicate anything unusual prior to the explosion. I would speculate that it was caused by an extremely unusual rift in the space-time continuum, a place where radically different physical laws apply.
And since it was different space-time, our sensors weren't programmed to detect it.
And it could happen again at any time without warning.
Don't you hate it when you get a rift in the space-time continuum?
Save new game. Replace previous.
Ooh, that's where you get this other view of the bridge of the Enterprise. I didn't see this in the previous game. We only saw it from behind the crew. So, yeah, lots of damage here. We talk to. Can I just walk around the bridge? Yeah, I also never got a chance to talk to them.
Status, Mr. Sulu.
Helm is not responding, Captain. The controls are completely dead.
Oh dear.
Status, Mr. Chekhov.
Captain, navigation is not responding.
Captain.
The circuits are as lifeless as a Stalinist.
Okay.
Scotty, what's our status?
Very bad, Captain. Whatever hit the Enterprise hit us right in our own neighborhood. The hull is breached 6 meters from the bridge. Beyond that, the instruments are useless. I can't read or send anything through these controls. We'll need a starbase to make this bridge functional again.
Scotty, how about auxiliary control?
Captain, I cannot determine the status of anything beyond the place where the rupture occurred. The rest of the ship could be dead as far as we know.
Oh dear.
Any ideas, Lieutenant?
I was barely able to reroute the necessary connections last time, Captain. Communications are completely useless now. We may be able to enter codes into the library computer and instruct others to send messages to us.
What do you think,
Captain,
Spock?
I believe I may be able to adjust the sensors to detect these spatial rifts and pilot the Enterprise to avoid them. However, the sensors are too heavily damaged here. I will need to get to auxiliary control as soon as possible if I am to reroute the necessary systems.
Mr. Spock, the bulkheads were breached just outside of the bridge. No one's going to be able to leave the bridge for at least an hour unless they're transported out.
Okay. Can we contact someone to transport us?
Any ideas, Lieutenant?
I was barely able to reroute the necessary connections last time, Captain.
Okay, I can't access any of the regular items like sensor or tricorders and communicators. What about you?
Ideas, Mr. Walker?
Red shirt.
I'm a security guard, sir, not an idea man. Still, if we could send out probes to detect these rifts, we might get a better idea on whether they're moving or not, and whether we should stop and make repairs or keep moving.
You.
There is no problem with the display, Captain. We have been cut off from ship sensors.
Okay. Can use people on...
Captain, I have to fix that in engineering when I get a chance to get off the bridge.
Okay. I use my
Captain's
chair.
log, supplement. Things are a complete mess on the bridge, with little immediate hope for improvement.
Okay, so I'm guessing I can't just use the... I can't just use the doors there to leave the bridge. Or can I?
It's stuck. We're not getting out of here that way.
Okay. Well, everyone got out of their seats. Maybe can I use the controls myself?
Captain, these controls are useless.
Guess not.
Captain, I've already said they're useless. I might be able to employ backup systems from auxiliary control.
Captain, I am quite capable of doing my job.
Okay. Just trying out things. Okay.
Captain, I believe I may be able to adjust the sensor.
Mr. Spock, the bulb.
Yeah.
Status, Mr. Sulu.
Helm is not responding, Captain.
Status, Mr.
Captain, navigation is not...
So the entire bridge seems to be dead. No controls are working. Okay, now what?
The damage readout for the Enterprise has gone crazy. There are obviously problems with the ship's damage registers.
Okay, so maybe the ship isn't completely damaged. Maybe it's just the damage sensors that are broken.
The damage readout for the Enterprise has gone crazy. The communications station. This seems... This is the science station, where Spock scans anomalies and operates the ship's library computer. This is where Kirk sits. The captain's log is stored here, as well as a record of landing party assignments. This is the ship's navigation station. This is Chekhov's pride and joy, allowing him to enter the ship's headings and to prepare the weapons in the Enterprise's, fortunately few, space battles.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of space battles in this game compared to the previous one.
This is the ship's helm station. From here, the helmsman can control the ship's shields and its orbital heading. Mr. Scott's home away from home, aka engineering. This allows access to some of the more important engineering functions from the bridge, most notably damage control systems and emergency power and internal sensors.
Captain, these control...
Helm still does not respond, sir.
Captain, things look very bad. I can't get any of the controls to respond.
Kinda cute that they put his accent in the text. Okay.
Status, Mr. Chekhov.
Captain, navigation.
Yeah, same thing.
Ideas, Mr. Walker?
I'm a security guard.
Scotty, what's our...
Very bad, Captain. Whatever hit the Enterprise hit us right in our own neighborhood.
Scotty, how about auxiliary...
Captain, I cannot determine the status of anything beyond the place where the rupture occurred. The rest of the ship could be dead as far as we know.
So there was a bulk breach, right outside the bridge, and we can't leave because maybe a complete vacuum outside the door.
Captain, I believe I may be able to adjust...
Mr. Spock.
Yeah.
Any ideas, Lieutenant?
I was barely able to reroute the necessary connections last time, Captain. Communications are completely useless now.
We can't even communicate to other people on the ship.
It's stuck. We're not getting out of here that way.
Hey, how are we getting out of here then? Can you do something, Spock? With the communications?
Captain, I've already said they're useless.
Okay.
Captain.
Captain,
Helm still...
This door leads to the turbo lift.
Can't even scan things. Usually when I'm stuck, I try using the science tricorder to scan everything just in case something would show, but I don't have access to any items. I guess because it's not an OA mission, they didn't grab any items.
This seems ship's short-range sensor display for the science station. Now all it is displaying is static. This is the science station.
Captain's log, supplemental. Things are a complete mess on the bridge.
I talk to myself.
We need to make communicating with the rest of the ship our first priority.
Yeah, well, how do I do that?
The communications station. This is where... No effect. No effect. No effect. No effect.
Captain, I've already said... Captain, I've already said they're useless. I might be able to employ backup systems from auxiliary control.
Yeah, if we could communicate with someone on the ship, we could get them to teleport us into auxiliary control, but without communication, it'll be a little hard.
Captain, I have to fix that in engineering. Captain,
There is no problem with it. There is no...
You go anywhere else? Look. And yeah, we're stuck on this one screen. Okay.
Mr. Scott's home away. Mr. Scott.
Going around the edge of the screen to see if there's maybe one specific control panel that I need to try and use.
This is the science.
Sometimes, yeah, the look command is helpful for detecting what you can interact with. Because even if you, I mean, if you can't use an item, an object, you can usually look at it.
This is the ship's... This door leads to the turbo lift.
Yeah, the turbo lift shouldn't be in a vacuum. And get Spock to open the door.
I do not see the logic in that action.
Can you open the doors? You
it's stuck. We're not getting out of here.
You should report any significant security risks directly to the captain.
It's stuck.
Guess there's nothing to do with that door.
It's stuck.
I don't understand what you want me to do, Captain.
Captain, I've already said they're useless.
Ah. Whoa. Getting stuck right away as soon as the mission starts. This is... Yeah, the game is getting more and more complicated. Feel like it. Feels like it.
No.
You can use...
Captain, I've already...
Captain.
Yeah,
Helm still...
Captain.
Using the controls
Captain,
doesn't do anything.
There is no...
Captain,
Use the door. Try using the door, but
it's
it won't
stuck.
open. Only they were like... Yeah, like I said, I usually like it when you can pick up items and use them on items, but nothing to pick up here.
No effect. No effect.
No tools or anything. Okay, try talking
Captain,
to people
I believe
again.
I may be able to...
Mr. Spock, the button.
Any ideas, Lieutenant?
I was barely able to reroute the...
Ideas, Mr.
I'm a security guard.
Status, Mr.
Captain, navigate.
Yeah, it is
Scotty,
just
what's our...
Very bad, Captain. Whatever hit the...
Scotty, how about auxiliary control?
Captain, I cannot determine the status of anything.
Status, Mr.
Helm is not responding, Captain.
We need to make communicating...
Speak with someone else.
No effect. No.
Oh, right away, yeah, no idea what to do here.
This door leads to the turbo lift.
Okay. I mean, I'm guessing trying to use the door was some kind of progress because it got everyone out of their chairs. But yeah, what else?
Captain, I am quite capable...
No, I don't think...
You do your job then.
Captain, the library computer is online.
Oh.
Apparently, its circuits were shielded from the explosion. Captain, I have managed to program a message into the library computer. The first time a person accesses the computer, they will read our distress signal. Hopefully, They can code a reply into the computer, which we can access.
Okay, nice. Okay, that's some progress. I guess that's a way of communicating with people elsewhere in the ship.
Captain, the transporters are operational. I request permission to be transported, so I can begin the adjustments to sensors as soon as possible.
Go ahead, Spock.
There we go.
No, Spock, go ahead, Spock. No, Spock, I'll go first. Go ahead, Spock.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Let's see why I need to go first.
Spock!
What the heck?
I can take care of that, Captain.
What just happened?
I'm patching your log into the computer. You should have voice messages.
Captain, we've managed to jury-rig an evacuation tube through the bridge turbo lift. We should be able to keep it stable long enough for you to be evacuated.
Okay, what about Spock though? What? Yeah, I'm gonna reload and try something else there, because I have a feeling that was not supposed to happen. City control, okay. Why can't we go now and not before? What?
Captain's log. After equipping ourselves with tricorders and phasers, we are now searching for a way to find Spock and return him to us. I've determined that the best place to start...
Uh-oh. Oh dear.
Captain, it's a very good thing we took the warp engines offline.
How bad is it, Scotty?
That explosion was 42% stronger than the one that struck near the bridge. Our lift warp nacelle is crippled, Captain.
I hope it's not a trend. Keep me posted, Mr. Scott. Kirk out.
Okay, maybe that was supposed to happen.
Save, new, replace.
Let me save somewhere else and see. Yeah, let me see what happened. What would have happened if I had transported first?
Captain, the library computer is online. Captain, I have managed...
Okay.
Captain, the transport...
Go ahead, Spock. No, Spock, I'll go first.
Captain,
yeah.
That is not logical. You are too valuable to risk, and the situation calls for my intervention as soon as possible.
Spock's right, Captain.
Very well.
Okay, I can't. Either way.
Spock!
Did Spock get turned into that four-armed thing or something? Whatever. What was that? Okay, I guess it's Star Trek, the search for Spock all over again. Star Trek 3, yeah, the search for Spock all over again.
Our highest priority is control of the sensors. We must find Spock.
I'll handle it, Captain. Remember, I was a physicist when I first joined the Enterprise.
Ah! Captain, look!
Is that Spock? Or is that another weird life form? What the?
Captain, what happened?
It appears our alien friend likes its privacy.
Okay.
The Cossacks have locked the door, Captain.
Okay. Now what?
This screen shows the layout on this deck. The door directly ahead of you leads to the auxiliary control.
I guess Spock was kidnapped then. Maybe that thing that showed up was not Spock and just another life form, another alien.
Deck layout screen.
From another space, a rift in the space-time continuum, maybe from another universe.
The deck integrity monitor says that everything is safe.
It could be a deception, Captain.
Well, at least now I have all these items. Maybe I can use communicators.
Kirk to Scott. Come in, Scotty. Kirk to Uhura. Come in, Lieutenant. Kirk to sick bay. Bones, where are you? Computer. Kirk to Scott. Come in, Scotty.
Okay. Guess I'll try each one and see what happens.
Captain, I got bad news for you. This rift is affecting the hull of the ship. Our hull integrity is dropping fast.
How bad is it, Scotty?
It's at 92% and dropping rapidly. According to our system specs, if it drops below 63%...
Put as much powers as you can to the shields. Use them to support our hull integrity. Divert as much power as you can to the sensors. Let's find out what's causing it. Evacuate all people from the outer decks. Divert power from life support on those decks evenly to shields and sensors.
Oh, that seems like the right idea.
Put as much power as evacuate all people from the outer deck.
Captain, that'll only add about 2% to the shields and sensors.
Do it, Mr. Scott.
Aye, Captain. Squad out.
Oh, I hope that was the right call. Okay, let's try Uhura now.
Kirk to Scott. Kirk to Uhura.
Captain, I've moved operations to Galileo 2 shuttlecraft. I've sent a message to Starfleet Command, and I've rerouted internal communications to run from here.
Lieutenant Uhura, what happens if the shuttle bay is hit by an explosion? That's one of the most vulnerable areas on the ship.
That's a risk I'm prepared to take, Mr. Sulu. I've activated the shuttle's shields for protection.
Good. Be prepared to evacuate the shuttle on my signal. Kirk out.
Okay.
Kirk to Scott. Kirk to sick bay.
Jim, what the devil are you doing to the ship?
I'm not the one doing it. Spock's gone, Bones. Someone took him from the ship. Some aliens that I've never seen before.
If you can get me a medical scan, I might be able to find some way to combat them. Make that a priority. McCoy out.
Is it my imagination, or is Dr. McCoy getting a little power crazed lately?
I'd say a lot power crazed, Nicaro.
Get a medical scan of the aliens? Well, I'll need to go inside first.
Captain, there's some sort of barriers on the walls and the doors. Our sensors cannot penetrate it.
Dang it. Okay. No, don't scan the phaser.
Nothing wrong with the phaser.
Use the phaser to destroy the door. Ah. Guess that did nothing. Oh.
It appears the alien doesn't want us in auxiliary control, Captain.
If this continues, we won't be in auxiliary control or anywhere else.
Can we go somewhere else, maybe? Okay. Back to the bridge, auxiliary control, sick bay. Transporter room, maybe we can transport into auxiliary control. Engineering. These two are... Okay, transporter room, engineering, and sick bay. Those are the only three options. Try the transporter room, I guess.
Captain, where would you like to be transported?
Send us to sick bay, Mr. Kyle. Send us to engineering, Send us to auxiliary control, Mr. Kyle.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, sir.
I hope we don't suffer the same fate as Spock did, though, but...
Energize.
Yeah, I wonder why they changed the transporter sound for this game. The previous one, the previous game, there was much closer to the original. Okay, I guess there's only one thing I can do with these aliens, so I guess I'll do the medical scan, like McCoy asked for.
Captain, I'm getting a sensor reading on the alien. I'm sure Dr. McCoy will find this data interesting.
And immediately transported out. The same sound effect used in the series. Ah, cool. Okay, I guess now we can go to sickbay, take this data to McCoy. Yeah, let me save this.
Save new, replace pre.
Something,
Well, Jim, I leave you alone for 5 minutes and look at the mess you've made.
Oh, come on, give me a break.
Here's the sensor scan, Bones.
Jim, this says our invaders are Vaurians.
Vaurians? But they're extinct. They died out at the time that Cochrane invented the warp drive. They were slaughtered in the Three Systems War.
Jim, I know my history, but I also know my anatomy. The alien in auxiliary control is a Vaurian. There's only one strange thing.
What's that?
This creature isn't capable of doing some of the things that you described. It's an ordinary Vaurian. No special organs, no unusual brain patterns, nothing that traditionally suggests superhuman feats.
Can you neutralize it, Bones?
Actually, it's a female. And yes, I know of something that can incapacitate it without harming it. A gas mixture. You'll have to pump large quantities into auxiliary control for it to be effective, but it should work almost immediately.
Okay. I guess we can open a door.
Here's the gas, Jim. Be careful with it. There hasn't been a Vaurian in 150 years.
Maybe this is from another universe where they weren't extinct. Can I pick up any of these too?
Leave my equipment alone. If things don't improve, I'll be needing it soon.
Okay, okay. Okay, so maybe I was able to puncture a small hole in the auxiliary control doors with the phaser before it was repaired, so maybe I do give one shot and then pump the gas through it. Yeah.
It seems like we need a larger hole to pump the gas into the room.
Like a right idea, but no, okay, maybe fire twice.
It appears the alien doesn't want us in auxiliary control, Captain.
If I fire twice, he immediately closes it. So.
It appears.
Okay. Oh, this phaser.
No effect, Captain.
Yeah, phaser on stun won't do anything.
The gas is non-combustible. The phaser shouldn't affect it.
Keep forgetting to reset the use option.
I thought that gas was supposed to go in the atmosphere pump in engineering.
Atmosphere pump in engineering? Okay, thanks for the hint. Let's go to engineering then.
Captain, there has been an explosion near the shuttle bay. I'm fine. There has been no significant damage.
Any luck communicating with Starfleet Command?
I have made contact with the light cruiser USS Jefferson, sir. It will reach the edge of Antares Rift in 16 hours. The rift is playing havoc with communications.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kirkhound.
Okay.
Is it too late to put in a request for an early retirement?
Scotty, if we hit any more of these random detonations, it'll be mandatory retirement for all of us.
Actually, Captain, I was hoping for a better pension.
Okay, where is the air pump thing?
The impulse engines of the USS Enterprise. Looking at them reminds you of several times they threatened to break down. Now the engines are running fine. It's the other sections of the Enterprise that are breaking down. Artificial gravity control. This system keeps the Enterprise with both feet firmly on the ground. Life support control systems. This monitors and controls the ship's life support.
Okay, this should be what pumps air into the auxiliary room, so maybe...
Not in there, Captain. Put the gas in the life support pump, then use the controls.
Where is the life support pump?
Impulse engine fuel control systems. This system monitors fuel usage in the impulse engines.
Down here, maybe?
Life support control system. This device stores special chemicals that are pumped into the ship's atmosphere when needed, and is operated by the life support system.
Here you go.
I wish Dr. McCoy had given me the specs on that gas injection system. It looks like a rather clumsy fit.
I'll do it, Scotty.
You'd think that Dr. McCoy would have some respect for engineering.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Use the life support
Let's
controls.
see how our alien friend likes Dr. McCoy's medicine.
Probably as much as we do, Hikaru.
Mr. Kyle, can you transport me to auxiliary control?
Aye, sir. But I have to remind you how dangerous intership transporting can be. We've really been pushing our luck today.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Kyle, but we have to take the risk.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Look, something's happening.
Hey, he's gone. Or she's gone. It was a female. Okay.
Save new, replace previous.
Save here. Okay, we got some progress. Got our auxiliary control back. What can we do with it?
That's odd. All systems look normal. The aliens haven't touched navigation. What's going on?
you do something, Sulu?
Captain, the aliens have not touched the helm. All systems look like they'll respond normally.
Okay.
Everything seems to be working. Library computer, external sensors.
Mr. Chekhov, see if you can find where the Vurian went. Maybe that will lead us to Spock.
Yeah.
Captain, I am detecting the Vurian. She seems to have vanished through a rift in space. I have the coordinates of her last known location.
Okay. Maybe use Uhura's shuttle to pursue?
Everything seems to be working.
Captain, we have the coordinates to find the Vurian. Why are we...
I don't know how to get there. Okay. Check out this
A
one.
warp impulse energy efficiency diagram. The diagram shows that the warp engines are not currently active.
Okay, what about
The
this?
dilithium crystal lattice monitor. Dilithium crystals are at 89% efficiency. This is below the optimum range, but still acceptable.
Okay.
This is the auxiliary control view screen.
Okay, let's see. Engineering, sick bay, transporter room, auxiliary control bridge. Maybe talk to Uhura.
Kirk to Scott. Kirk to Uhura.
Captain, the rift is providing subspace interference. It's rather unusual. It's as though the interference were coming from subspace itself. I've never seen anything quite like it.
If Mr. Spock were here, he'd probably find it fascinating. Keep trying to break through and report anything else that's unusual to me. Kirk out.
Yeah, how do we pursue? We just go to the transporter room again, maybe?
Mr. Kyle, you have the coordinates where the alien teleported?
Captain,
Yeah.
you're asking me to transport you into another dimension. I may not be able to lock onto you there.
I'm aware of the risk, Mr. Kyle. You have your orders.
Aye, sir.
Always doing risky things.
Energize.
Okay, let's see where we end up. Whoa.
Captain's personal log. I have transported to many strange places in my day, but beaming into an alien dimension is something entirely unique. Only the extreme risk to my ship and my friend Spock would cause me to take such a drastic risk.
This doesn't look like a nice place to visit.
There's the Vurian. I don't see Spock.
He's got to be around here somewhere.
Okay.
Save new game. Replace pre.
At least it looks like in this chapter even though it started a little hard, I'm making progress a lot faster.
A pile of blue stones. This gem-like stone has a dull orange luster.
I pick these up.
Strange boulders jut from the depths of this strange planetscape.
Pick up a rock from another dimension and take it back.
Strange boulders jut from the depths of this.
Okay.
Why are you reaching for your phaser, Mr. Sulu?
Captain.
Walker, I saw you sneaking up on me.
Sir.
You're all against me. You've gotten rid of Spock, now me. Who's next, Scotty, Uhura? Or are they part of this too?
Captain, snap out of it.
Something is definitely wrong. Such intense emotions.
Just because I picked the stone? What are these? Are these the Infinity Stones?
What are we doing here? Why did we come here?
Captain?
There's no way back. We'll never find Spock. We're trapped here forever, and it's all my fault. I knew the Antares Rift was dangerous. I should never have let the ship go in there.
Captain?
But let's find Spock.
Oh, each time I pick a stone, there's a surge of emotion. What will the red one do?
I heard that, Mr. Sulu.
I didn't say anything.
You've always been saying things behind my back. You've always said I don't have enough discipline, that I don't respect my crew. You're insubordinate, Mr. Sulu.
Get hold of yourself, Captain.
What on earth was I saying? I'm sorry, Mr. Sulu. That was not...
Captain, I think we better get out of here as soon as possible.
No effect.
I'm going to collect as much of these stones as I can to see what happens.
This place reminds me of Deneva. I lost my brother there. He was a few years younger than I was, and there were times when he annoyed me.
Captain?
And now he's gone. Gone. I'll never see him again, never tell him... tell him...
Captain, snap out of it.
This place must be getting to me.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, this yellow and then the blue stone. I'm guessing they'll be used in a puzzle at some
Don't worry,
point.
Mr. Walker, I'll protect you.
Sir?
Sulu, Checo. You know, I may never have told you this before, but I care for you all more than I can tell. Sulu, with your dedication, your unwavering sense of responsibility...
Captain, are you talking about me?
Checo, I've always been impressed by your enthusiasm.
Okay,
All
it's a nicer
those wonderful
stone.
Russian jokes, your humanity.
Captain?
And you, Mr. Walker, with your rugged determination, I'll bet you had more girlfriends than anyone in the history of the Academy.
Actually, sir, I'm... celibate.
What was I just saying?
I'll get them, Captain.
Uh-oh.
Wait, we need something to handle them with. Mr. Walker, handling single stones produced intense emotions. A cache of these stones...
You're right, sir.
Okay, I was worried that the red shirt was about to get killed there. Hey, why can't I just pick up one of these stones then? Okay, let me... Okay, oh. We already have a blue one then, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 stones. Like one more and I will have the entire gauntlet, I guess.
Save new game. Replace previous.
I guess I can... Let's try scanning the creature first, then try talking to it.
No effect, Captain. I don't have enough knowledge of Vorian anatomy. Captain, the medical...
No. Thanks, Striker.
It's a female of its race, Captain. I'm afraid my tricorder doesn't have much information on Vurians.
Yeah, I'm hoping I won't have to remember which stone caused which emotions. By talking to it, I guess?
Greetings, Lord Kirk. I am Eminata. I regret the discomfort that I put you through on your ship. I wish only to preserve my joy by serving the Savant.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata? Where is Spock? How did you come to be here? What were you doing on my... Are you willing to help me, Eminata?
Okay.
Possibly. I am aware of your ship's distress. I can bring it to the attention of the Savant. It may help.
Actually, I was thinking more about freeing Spock. What is the Savant? I would appreciate the Savant being... Actually, I was thinking more about freeing Spock.
I do not know how I can help you, Captain. Speak with the Savant, and perhaps things will be clearer.
Okay, where is the Savant?
The Savant is now summoned, Lord Kirk. He awaits. Not many footsteps from here. By the fountainhead. Seek him.
Are you willing to help me? Where is Spock? How did you come to be here?
I was a lone soldier, fleeing the massacres that followed the Three Systems War. I was heavily outnumbered. In desperation, I attempted to use my son's gravity well to propel my ship into a high warp velocity, so I could escape the pursuit.
I remember reading about that war in my history class at the Academy.
I was warped into the Antares sector. I traveled through a dimensional rift into this place. The Savant sustained me, and gave me joy where there was once only despair. I have been here ever since.
Oh. Okay, so he's the last surviving member of his race, and he's been stuck in this alternate dimension for 150 years? Oh dear. Or she was the last surviving member of the race. Hello.
I am the Savant. I wish you and all entities nothing but joy.
Who are you?
Didn't I see you in Star Trek 5?
Why do you ensnare others against their will? Release Spock at once and allow us to return to... Who are you?
Yeah, who are you?
Once, eons ago, I was akin to you. A creature of flesh and pain. But I released myself from these bonds and became an entity of pure emotion. And I came to this place to find a shelter from the cares of the universe.
Okay. What's that?
A pouch from the Vorian life support capsule.
Okay. And use this pouch to collect these other stones.
Captain, you misunderstand me. It is not my will to bring harm to any creature. I have taken two creatures that are without the most important thing in existence, joy, and given it to them in infinite variety and abundance. The Vurian was filled with despair at the death of her race. She was overwhelmed by sorrow and grief. I have healed her of these afflictions forever. As for the Vulcan, he has been conditioned to deny his emotions. I am bringing him in contact with a part of himself that will enhance his life. It is a gift of love.
You have no right to inflict emotions on any being, regardless of how positive you may think them to be, without their consent.
You're giving joy to Spock? What?
Get a life. You can't just sit around feeling happy for eternity. What does that accomplish? Love? Spock doesn't want your gift. He doesn't need your gift. Release him and let us return to our... You have no right to inflict emotions on any being, regardless...
I give them an eternity of joy. Is that not every creature's desire? How can granting a subliminal desire be beyond my rights?
That is the most arrogant piece of presumption I have ever heard. An eternity of joy. And I suppose you derive no benefits from the people you hold prisoner? Do you honestly believe that because what you do may benefit them, that the ends justify the means? That is the most arrogant piece of presumption I have ever heard.
Very tempted to pick this
answer. An eternity of joy. And I suppose you derive no benefits from the people you hold prisoner?
Yeah, I want to see what it says.
I share in their joy, and a joy shared is a marvelous thing. I will send you back to your own ship and give you safe passage through the Antares Rift if you wish.
Yeah, send Spock back. Hang on, let me... Before you do anything, let me try and pick up those blue stones. Get this. New item I got. Yeah, can I use this pouch?
I'll get them, Captain.
Carry these? That I needed something to collect them? Yeah.
I've put them in the pouch we found. Boy, am I getting an odd feeling from these stones.
Okay. Not sure what I'll need to do with them yet, but... hang on, let me check to see if there's anything beyond this area. Doesn't seem like I can go. Yeah. Once again, weird frame rate drop while he's walking. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, hey, there's Spock.
Spock, what have they done to you?
Fascinating. Emotional intensity of a previously unknown level. Our link with the savant acts as an amplifier. The more minds in union with him, the greater the level of emotion. And happiness is a powerful emotion.
Spock, do you want this?
Happiness is a human desire, Captain. I am a Vulcan. I want to be free of emotions. This is the antithesis of my desires.
Spock!
Okay. I guess that answers it. He doesn't want to be here.
Save new game. Replace.
What about all these stones here?
These large, bright rocks seem to have been thrown to the surface of this planetscape from below. Their color makes an interesting contrast with the dull color of the surrounding land. These large...
What is
the
this?
wreckage of an alien derelict, the Vurian's life support pod. There are 100 archaeologists who would love to be standing with you right now. Although it looks like common dirt, the ground in this strange place feels softer, spongier. Each footstep you take here feels strange.
Okay.
I shall try to tell you what I know. The emotions make it difficult to communicate. The creature that has done this is called the Savant.
Yeah.
A being of great power that has transformed itself into a creature of living emotion. It can form a link with any creature with psionic abilities, including Vulcans. It taps into latent emotions and amplifies them, using them to increase its emotional stability.
What happens if it gets cut off from you and the Vurian?
It would be alone, but could cope. We enhance its enjoyment, but we are not essential to its survival.
Okay.
We're like a backup system. It relies on us for emotional support, but it could exist without us.
Okay, all the more reason for us to leave.
Captain, I recommend you negotiate with Savant to escape this place. I am expendable.
No, you're not.
Spock, I see that these emotions have given you a sense of humor. If we can find a weakness, we might be able to take you with us. What can you tell us? Spock, can you negotiate with the Savant on our behalf? Spock, we found some very strange stones. What are they?
Yeah, I want to know what...
This entire pocket dimension is organic and psionic. In order to maintain the Savant's life force, negative emotions that are suppressed might be absorbed in mineral-like pockets beneath the surface of this dimension.
So that's why the rocks were making Kirk paranoid and angry.
Captain.
Expendable? If we can find a weak... Spock, can you negotiate with the Savant?
It refuses to deal with issues of logic and free will. It is not a violent creature, but is extremely fixated on its goals and believes what it does is morally justified. Captain.
Expendable? If we can find a weakness, we might...
Its reliance on emotion is its main weakness. It is a creature of intense needs, and despite having millions of years of joy, it still retains a subconscious fear of losing its joy, of experiencing negative emotions.
Doesn't want to experience negative emotions, eh? What if I throw one of these stones at him? Can you give a description of these stones if I look
A blue gemstone similar to a sapphire. A red gemstone. A yellow gemstone. If this was your universe, you'd think it was topaz. An odd orange gemstone.
Green emerald. What the albedo doesn't look like.
A pouch. It is full of blue stones.
Okay, I don't remember what the blue stones did, but I guess we'll try talking to the Savant, and if he doesn't do what we say, we'll give him some negative emotions.
Have you come to ask for transportation back to your ship?
Not without Spock. Savant, isn't there anything I can do to make you see? Release Spock, or we will be forced to destroy you. Not without Spock.
Yeah, not without Spock.
Captain, why do you begrudge your comrade's newfound happiness?
Because it was not his doing, nor his choice.
Yeah, he doesn't want happiness.
Because he's being used by you and held against his will. He has duties and obligations, and you're keeping... Because it was not his doing, nor his choice.
There are many things in nature that are not desired, but bring good fortune. Be content with your comrade's serendipity, and ask for your safe return to your vessel.
Okay.
Save, mute,
save, and just to see what happens if I use the stones on him. Try the orange one.
This object has no effect against me.
Okay. What about the yellow one?
This object has...
Okay, what about the green one?
This object...
The red one?
This object...
Okay, what about the blue one?
This object...
What about a bunch of blue ones? Hiya.
You disturb my rest. Fortunately, I am not alone in bliss. Do not use such a tactic again on me. I warn you. What is this? What am I feeling? What have you done?
Ha ha ha.
What's the matter, Savant? Not feeling those good vibrations? Life isn't all happiness and joy. It's time you experienced a reality check. Is that sadness you're feeling, Savant? It couldn't be that those inferior humans have outwitted your great wisdom, could it? What's the matter, Savant? Not feeling those good vibrations?
I like this one.
Please, have mercy. I would rather die than experience such sorrow.
If you will listen to reason, I will release you. Free Spock and return us to our ship.
Yeah.
You really are a crybaby. Go ahead and ball your head off. If you will listen to reason, I will release Free Spock and return us to our ship.
I want this.
No. I shall not reward this action. I will not allow violence to be rewarded, even if I must die.
I don't want to kill you, Savant. You underestimated our ability to hurt you. Maybe you underestimated us in other ways, too. You are the most stubborn entity I've ever met. If you can read Spock's mind, then you know I don't enjoy hurting others. Why can't you be reasonable? And I cannot allow you to derive pleasure from your unwarranted kidnapping of my science officer. We are in the same situation. I don't want to kill you, Savant.
Okay.
You underestimated our ability to hurt you.
You win, Captain. As much as it pains me, I shall be as you desire.
Yeah, what about the various?
Captain's log. We are out of the Antares Rift and are on our way to Starbase 8, where the Enterprise has extensive repairs scheduled. All crew members, including First Officer Spock, are safely aboard.
So, Spock, you mean you had an eternity of pure enjoyment and you gave it up?
Affirmative, Doctor.
That has to be the most illogical thing I've ever heard. Humans spend their entire lifetime dreaming of an eternity of pleasure.
As do animals in the field. Perhaps humans are meant to be better than that. Perhaps we should dream of greatness and not simple gratification.
Greatness is a term subject to individual interpretation, Captain. The Savant viewed the pursuit of greatness as useless, because all great deeds and accomplishments are destined to be forgotten in cosmic terms.
A cosmic being thinks in cosmic terms, Spock. But somehow that philosophy overlooks a lot of life's little pleasures. There's just one thing that bothers me about the whole thing.
Really, Doctor?
Spock finally got to enjoy himself, and I wasn't there to see it. Now that's something worth remembering.
Message from Starfleet Command.
On screen.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. Well done, Kirk. Keep up the good work. I must say, however, your performance is not what we've come to expect from James T. Kirk. I guess we all have our off days, Captain. Kane out.
Yeah, I wonder, should I have tried to help the Varian back as well? Museum piece.
How long until we reach Nova Atar, Ensign?
About 23 hours, Captain.
22 hours, 53 minutes, and 17 seconds, to be precise.
Spock, there's no need to be precise. We're going on shore leave. Rest, relaxation, no calls from Starfleet.
Nice. Here you go.
Captain, we have a message coming in from Admiral Richards at Starfleet.
You had to say something.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Hello, Jim. I know you're going on shore leave, but...
What is it, Chris?
Since you're going there anyway, and it's only a small favor...
Favor?
I don't want to inconvenience you, but...
Fine, you have it. What would you like me to do?
We recently discovered that one of the exhibits in the Smithsonian Annex at Nova Atar is of great historical significance to the Serenzi, an influential family from planet Lakian. The museum is going to have a small ceremony to return the item. The Federation planned to send a representative, but, well, she couldn't make it. Since you'll be in the neighborhood, well, no dress uniforms. All you have to do is smile and shake hands.
Smile, shake hands. It would be my pleasure, Admiral. My chief engineer had already promised to show me around. We'll be there.
Thanks, Jim. I owe Check your data files for details. Oh, one more thing, Jim. Due to the security concerns, you won't be allowed to bring any electronic equipment with you. Richard's out.
Now, I was saying...
Captain, do we really have to stand around and listen to speeches from a bunch of politicians?
It won't be all bad, Scotty. The curator's a major cognac producer, and he asked us to show up early to thank us for our support.
Captain, it'd be rude to keep a man like the curator waiting, what with an important diplomatic function to prepare for.
Immediately changed his mood. Yeah, hang on, let me save.
Save new, replace previous game.
Number 1. I guess I'm really curious about this. There's something that could have done to help the variant as well. Try. I mean, talk to her to see if she wants to come.
You have met the Savant. Now you realize the true power of this place.
Are you willing to help me, Eminat? What were you doing? Are you willing to help? What were you doing?
The Savant empowered me to remove any psionically adept being from your ship, and to prevent you from following him. It was not our intention to do you harm. You have met the Savant.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata?
Through the Savant, I know your desires. Why should I help release the poor Vulcan into a life of misery?
Because I need him to save the lives of over 400 people on the ship. Because Spock does not want artificial joy. He does not want this lie. Because I need him to... Because Spock does not...
Very well, Captain. I will help you.
Okay, how will you help?
You have met the Savant.
You agreed to help us.
You have already met the Savant, and he remains unmoved. I am taking the emotions in your mind and broadcasting them to him. Your concern for your ship, your love for your comrade. He regrets your feelings, but his purpose is unchanged.
I guess no. Yeah, I guess
you have met the Savant.
Are you certain?
I can try. I am attempting to again broadcast your emotions to the Savant. He rejects your emotions. He says that these primitive experiences should be ignored.
Okay, I guess the reason I didn't get a good grade was not because I left the Varian behind. I guess the Varian doesn't want to come along. Okay. Maybe I did something else wrong, but I was just wanted to see. Or maybe I should have destroyed the Savant so he doesn't kidnap other life forms. Okay. Where were we going again? Let me check the star map. Nova Atar, was it? Yeah, number 16. Okay, the star on the bottom left. Here we go. Hopefully this trip will be without incident. Oh yeah,
We've
engage.
arrived at Nova Atar, Captain.
Bring us into standard orbit, Mr. Sewell.
Aye, Captain.
Pretty cool that this game has this better cutscenes than the previous one. Okay. I guess. Oh yeah, let me save now that so I don't have to consult the star map again. By talking to Spock now, see what he has to say.
We are at Nova Atar.
I guess we just teleport down.
Mr. Scott, Mr. Chekhov, come with me. Mr. Spock, you have the call.
Captain Kirk, good to meet you. I am Boris Brezhnev, curator of the museum. Everyone is buzzing about visitors from the Enterprise. A real feather in my cap.
The pleasure is ours, sir. This is my chief engineer, Mr. Scott, and Ensign Chekhov, our navigator.
Most pleased to meet you both. Chekhov, a fine name. I'm certain you will be interested in sampling the Kazakhstani cognac, distilled and blended by my family. In fact, I will later show you my most prized possession, a bottle of our finest vintage, aged 40 years from our very first pressing.
But isn't cognac French?
Originally, Mr. Scott. But before my ancestors came to settle this planet, they went to Cognac and purchased cuttings, brought them here, and made enhancements. You could say we reinvented Cognac. I do not wish to be rude, but you gentlemen are a bit early, and I must see to making certain the cleaning crews are finished working. Please, feel free to look about a bit. I will page you later, and maybe you will join me in a small toast before the ceremonies? Yes?
It would be our pleasure, Curator.
Okay. Hopefully nothing bad goes on while we're here.
I told you we invented it.
Maybe we were a little hard on you, laddie.
Never doubted you for a second, Mr. Chekhov. Now let's take advantage of this time and look around.
Okay.
Save new, replace previous game.
Hang on, let me just check something here. Let's see. Museum piece. This is Museum piece chapter 6, and there are 8 total. Yeah, we're doing pretty good progress. I finished chapter 4 and did chapter 5 already at chapter 6. Doing better than I expected. I was afraid that the game would get harder and harder as I went along, but yeah, still managing to do more progress. I think we can do this one more mission and then leave the next 2 for another stream.
The plaque reads, an old ground-based phaser cannon model B-17, the real equalizer, rescued from a Federation scrapyard, probably based on the frontier near Nelapur. This phaser cannon no longer possesses any of its focusing or targeting equipment. The large capacitors in the base allowed a variety of power sources to be used to energize the cannon and gave the real equalizer considerable flexibility in use.
Okay.
The plaque reads, the Niven, non-integrated Vulcan electronumerator, was one of the earliest versions of a Vulcan computer. Some of the components were found to only function correctly at high temperatures. Since the focus in those early days was on computational effectiveness and not user-friendliness, the operator could not stand near the Niven during its operation. Input to the machine was cabled in from a separate device, hence it was a non-integrated computer.
Okay, looking around this museum.
The Klingon console looks operational, but without a ship attached, it's hard to tell. Written on the plaque, this is a control console from a Klingon warbird, the Klarg, which was salvaged from the battle wreckage near Crimmins 8.
Think you could make that work, Mr. Scott?
Of course, Captain. But it's not like I'll ever have to.
Lights cascade continually above the surface of this device. Plaques on each side read, the Vandecourt Aurora generator was donated to this museum by Sir William Loudon. Originally, a university experiment designed to test broadcast power as both a containment system and photostimulation for possible use in a propulsion system, the unit was presented as a gift to Loudon, who liked the way it looked and had recently donated a significant sum to the university.
Okay. Takes this way, so can we go here? Or maybe, yeah, is this another path? Whoa. This power armor?
This EVA suit was worn by Ivan Petrovsky, a late 21st century Terran astronaut during the famous Commonwealth mission. Petrovsky used this suit to dock with the damaged spacecraft SS Commonwealth and save the vessel from certain destruction in orbit around Mars.
Petrovsky? Isn't that a Russian name?
I don't think so, Mr. Chekhov.
I sincerely doubt it, laddie.
Really? I would have sworn it was Russian.
The plaque on the old machine reads, an early experimental transporter. The Murnane 8 was from a time before transporters were safe for travel by living beings. Constructed to be a frequently modified testbed, the Murnane 8 had only a small loading bay. The destination controls were also still in testing, making the use of this transporter as much art as science.
I wonder if something will happen that we will need any of these devices at some point in this chapter.
An old communications panel. On the plaque, this communications station was removed off the old freighter, Big Bear Running, when that ship was retired from its customary Benchley to Sawcare run. Outdated by today's standards, this system was known for its powerful transmitter and ease of repair. As a side note, the shell of the Big Bear Running was used as a testing target for present models of photon torpedoes. The plaque reads, one of the most widely used and most stable designs ever. The Umber Hubble Mark 84 has been used in far more ships than any other model.
Regular control
Captain
panel.
Kirk, I trained on one of these. It's solid as a rock and twice as dependable.
Remind me after the ceremony. I'll talk to the curator about letting you look this one over.
Thank you, Captain. I'd dearly love to put it through its paces.
What about this? 7B, 7C, 7D. Each one has a number and a letter. Each exhibition. So I guess, yeah, number 9 and go here, number 10 here. Hang on. And I go this way. Yeah, well, that was number 6. This 7. 5 was where we were. Yeah, I guess I'll go over them in order.
The surface of the old docking ring is pitted from micrometeorite strikes, and there are several large welds running completely around it. Many magnetic coupling clamps are uniformly spaced around the ring. The plaque reads, this docking ring was recovered in pieces from the port facilities at Genevieve 9, where it was broken when a freighter, the Hardy, accidentally turned on its thrusters just before mooring was completed.
Captain Kirk and party, please report to the curator's office, please. Captain Kirk and party, please report to the curator's office.
Guess we won't have time to see
I
all
hope
the
you
other
enjoyed your tour,
exhibits.
gentlemen. Please join me. Would you mind if the first toast with the Kazakhstanian was to the Enterprise?
Curator, why isn't that Brezhnev cognac?
For heaven's sakes, Chekhov, don't interrupt a man on the verge of toasting the best ship in the fleet with the finest cognac on this side of the galaxy.
My apologies.
Okay.
Questions later, then. The toast. Here's to the Starship Enterprise.
Cheers. Alert?
What could this be?
A conspiracy, if you ask me, Captain.
Let me pull this up on screen.
Oh. Oh no.
They've destroyed my camera. Well, let's see how they deal with our other security systems.
Yeah, I knew something was going to happen. Oh, what the? Oh yeah, I can't. I was told I would not be allowed to bring electronic equipment.
Ignoring the slight ozone odor, the curator looks peacefully asleep.
Okay, was he electrocuted?
A monitoring and control station for museum security.
Dear.
Save new game. Replace previous.
Yeah, I don't have any items or like tricorders or phasers. How am I going to deal with whoever is attacking the museum? Oh dear.
A monitoring and control station for museum security.
Okay, can I use it or will I get electrocuted too? You can pick up this weapon or something.
Simple trap, simple to disarm. Whoever did this must have figured the curator would not be expecting it.
Okay. Okay, can you do something, Scott? Buddy?
I've checked the system, Captain. Whoever sabotaged it did a fine job. All of the modules of the security system were cut off from each other when the curator tried to trigger the defenses. And I do not think I can repair from here.
I wish we had more information. We don't know who they are, what they want, or how long we have to stop them.
Okay. Can I pick up anything?
No effect.
Guess I'll use this lance as a
The
makeshift
large
weapon.
lance shows somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Only item so far, I guess, that can be used as a weapon. Can I grab some of this tree?
Captain, I don't know what we could possibly use these for.
Okay, what about this?
I feel rather bad about this, Captain.
I do too, Scotty, but it's always surprising what you need in an emergency.
Yeah, I'll just use the museum pieces as improvise. Okay, wait. Is that a bottle of the cognac?
A rather large bottle of Kazakhstanian cognac.
Okay.
Finely crafted silver serving tray.
I pick up the tray.
This is a very expensive silver tray.
Yeah, now we're starting to look like a traditional point-and-click adventure, just grabbing items without knowing what we're going to use them for.
This is helpful. There's a button under the edge of the desk when the curator wants to open the door.
Oh. Okay, then do it. Anything else?
The note on the paper reads, Brezhnev, VVSOP 2123.
Okay. Let me save before I step out, just in case there's someone waiting.
Captain, what will we do when we get to the other room and the door closes?
Huh. Maybe I'll use the lance to keep the door open?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Captain, what will we...
Can I push the statue to
Mr.
keep the door
Chekhov,
open?
see if you can wedge that knight under the door.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah. It looks like he was on wheels, almost like a skateboard. There we go.
There, that should hold the door open.
Okay. Aquarium. Okay, it doesn't looks like there's no one here. I might as well. Hang on. Can I open these doors?
Security lockdown is in effect. Please enter access code.
Was the access code in that piece of paper? I don't remember. VVSOSO? 2123?
Incorrect access code. Access denied.
Okay. Wait, let me go back. Go back to this room. I mean, if we needed... If the game told me that I needed to keep this door open, maybe I do need to go back and forth between the rooms.
The note on the paper reads, Brezhnev, VVSOP 2123.
VVSOP 2123, I mean... I don't see why this would be the security code, but I guess might as well give it a shot. VVSOP 2123.
Security lockdown. Security lock deactivated.
Oh, it was the code, okay. I guess we can continue to look at the stuff we were looking at before.
Low and sleek, this space vehicle has a Spartan look, written on the plaque. This is the escape pod in which the famous smuggler known as the Black McKiernan was captured. Unable to outrun his pursuers, McKiernan tried to escape in the pod as he blew up his ship, hoping the authorities would think he had perished. The pod had been specially constructed of expensive metalloceramic alloys to withstand such an escape tactic. Unfortunately for McKiernan, the pursuit included a trailing scout ship looking for a backtracking maneuver, and when the smiling smuggler opened the hatch thinking he'd made planetfall, he was treated to the inside view of a Federation cruiser's shuttle bay.
Yeah, I might as well look at all the other artifacts just in case there's something we'll need later.
The plaque reads, A failed experiment in Habis robotics, the Green Mark 6 was one of those ideas where the original concept might have been sound, but the follow-ups were too much. Planned as a simple cargo handler, attempts were made at increasing its function and therefore its flexibility. Unfortunately, proposed missions such as security were well beyond its recognition systems and processors. One small piece of lasting notoriety was that the Mark 6 was one of the first Habis robotic uses of room temperature superconducting wiring. While the wiring concept went forward, little else of this robot did.
Okay, then I don't think there's anything else here that we'll need to use.
This was a sensor diagram from the Remembrance, an early Terran interstellar craft.
Okay. Can go here. We'll.
Security lockdown is in effect. Please enter access code.
In the same code again. VVSOP. 2123.
Authorization code correct. Warning. Malfunction in security authorization. Access denied.
It appears that the terrorists do not want any visitors.
Okay, can I use this cannon to blast the door? Can you do something, Scotty? Maybe tie this to the Klingon control panel?
I've looked this beastie over, and the only things we might be able to use are the capacitors. I've taken them out. They'll soak up a wee bit of power before releasing it.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, improvising stuff with the museum pieces. What about this control panel?
It's working fine. Just doesn't have anything to control right now. This machine is putting out a fair amount of power.
Okay, can I charge the capacitors with it? Maybe use the capacitors to blow up the door.
The capacitor should charge very quickly.
Okay. This one too.
The capacitor should charge very quickly.
Okay. Okay, in the meantime, what can you do with this computer?
Well, it's not like anyone's likely to be using this monstrosity soon, so I pulled out the only things we might be able to use. It's not much, only some heat-resistant wiring and a cable.
Okay. Heat resistance wiring and a cable. Okay, pick up the capacitor.
Chekhov takes the capacitor off of the Aurora generator. Chekhov takes...
He said they should charge quickly, so...
No, I don't think... No, I don't...
use the wire... Let's see. Use the capacitor.
No, I don't think...
Now, yeah, now it's a item combination game. What do you use?
No, I don't think...
What?
No, I don't... No, I don't... No, I don't...
No?
No, I don't...
Hang on, are the capacitors charged?
An old-style phaser cannon...
No, okay. I'll put him back.
The capacitor should charge...
He said it was going to charge very quickly, apparently not quick enough.
The capacitor should...
I use the wire with the control panel?
No, I don't think that...
Use it to activate something?
It's nice to know it'll work, but maybe we should wait for a reason.
Okay. So, use this wire on this panel, on this control panel, but not right now.
No, I don't think... No, I don't... No, I don't think that...
What about this tray?
No, I don't...
Lights cascade continually above the surface of this device.
Yeah, we already... So. Do something.
I don't understand what you want me to do, Captain.
Yeah, me neither.
An old-style phaser cannon capacitor. It is currently uncharged.
Maybe I need to operate this control. Charge it.
This machine is putting out a fair amount of power.
Yeah, I thought just putting them on would charge them, but maybe not.
Captain, what do you want me to wire the lights to?
The capacitors.
No, I don't think that's necessary. No, I don't.
No?
No, I don't.
Captain.
No, I don't.
Whoa. Oh. I guess I just had to wait a little while. Okay.
Chekhov takes the capacitor off of the... Chekhov takes...
Yeah, that wasn't very quickly.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
On the door?
No, I don't.
I don't understand what you want.
Okay, try this now.
It's
here.
nice to know it'll work.
Okay, maybe try the wires on the capacitors.
No, I don't think. No, I.
Use one capacitor on another.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't think that's. No, I don't.
Maybe something on over here needs those. Yeah, maybe activate this little robot. I mean, he doesn't. He seems like he's part of the environment, so I don't think he'll be moving. But I guess we can give it a shot. Oh, I guess he will be moving. Or shaking. Ooh. Ooh, Curator's not gonna like that.
That has to be one of the most useless robots I've ever seen.
Badly designed, Captain.
It's not going to help us, is it?
Only in a dance contest, Mr. Chekhov.
Okay, maybe we can use the piece that fell off.
You take the capacitor out of the robot.
This is not exactly my area of expertise.
Button.
There's not a worthwhile circuit in its head, Captain. But the wirings may be helpful at some point.
Okay. More wiring. Yeah, we've got 3 different components here. What about this? Anything useful here?
Everything on this pod's too tight. I need the proper tools. I was able to get one loose access panel, but I'm not sure what we can do with it.
Okay. What about here?
Most of this is just too massive to move around, but we've got some nice magnetic clamps here.
I guess we gotta MacGyver our way through. Okay. I guess I'll charge this. Yeah, put this other capacitor back and charge it up again.
The capacitor should charge very quickly.
Not that quickly.
Save,
Let me
new,
save.
replace, delete previous, replace pre.
I guess I can use more wires.
Captain, what do you want me to wire the lights to?
No, I don't think... No, I don't... No, I don't... No, I don't...
This is mostly ceramic, Captain. Not likely to work well with our little beastie here.
Okay.
It conducts electricity fine, but silver's not so hot with magnetism. We'll be lucky to launch it off the end of the table.
Launch it off the end of the table. Oh, maybe we'll use the table. Let's see, this magnetic clamps on the tray.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Or...
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Captain, shouldn't we have a plan first before we start throwing things around?
Calling me out here, come on. I'm just trying things randomly until I figured something out. Yeah, I mean, maybe you should talk to him to see
Captain, when you were in school, did you ever make a tennis ball cannon?
Of course, Mr. Scott. It's a dormitory tradition. Empty cans, tape, and a little propellant. If I remember my formula... But what's that got to do with our situation?
I was standing here looking at the cannon and thought maybe we could use the same idea to get through that wee door.
We're going to knock down the door with a tennis ball?
I'm sure Scotty had something else in mind. You did, didn't you, Mr. Scott?
Aye, Captain. In an engineering dorm, that's for freshmen only. As you move along, you get into bigger and better versions.
We'll use a big tennis ball?
No, laddie. I was thinking, since we cannot fix the phaser here, maybe we could build some sort of mass driver. The capacitors on the cannon can discharge a lot of power in a short burst.
Oh, I remember. Using magnetic fields to propel an object faster and faster.
Don't say it, laddie. You didn't invent them.
Of course not. I was going to say we will need an iron tennis ball.
This one's charged too.
Chekhov takes the capacitor off of the Aurora generator.
Iron tennis ball. Where are we going to get one of those? Maybe in the other room?
This glass birdhouse is the nesting place of a Brechnerian swallow. A nearly full decanter of cognac. The curator's office is an interesting mix of the old and new.
Okay. Okay, maybe nothing here. Okay, maybe now that we spoke with Scott, give an idea of what to do, maybe we can start using stuff. Let's see, magnetic clamps on the table. Okay.
We'll still have to wire them up, Captain. That's going to be the real job.
Oh, I got wires. Oh, which ones though? These?
Actually, Captain, I don't think these will do. They'd survive firing the beastie, but they don't carry enough current for what we're likely to need.
Okay, the other one. Okay, getting somewhere here.
Captain, I'll need a little help positioning the clamps correctly while wiring them. Captain, push harder. I'll need these tighter to get more power.
I'm giving it all I got, Scotty.
Reverse roles here. Okay, now what? Use the tray?
It conducts electricity fine, but silver's not.
Or maybe use the capacitors? Oh, I guess it's just charging them.
Chekhov takes the...
this here, maybe?
This end's ready, Captain.
Yeah, we should use this to activate our little makeshift cannon. Maybe use this?
This is mostly ceramic, Captain. Not likely to work well with our little beastie here.
Okay. Well, that's what he meant before. What about this? This should work.
One projectile ready to go, Captain.
Oh. I guess that's all we needed. Arm weapons? Fire?
We'll need to have a power storage source before we can do anything else.
Oh. Well, we have capacitors.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Is that enough?
There's not enough power yet.
Okay, you need to keep them on the table. Okay. Is that it? No, don't go to the other room.
Thank you, Captain. This'll be just like old times.
School must miss you dearly, Mr. Scott.
Fire! Whoa. Okay, save and
Save
see what's
replace previous.
What's beyond that door.
The engineering panel. Look what we've done.
A spacesuit.
We made a bit of a mess here, didn't we? We had no choice. Remember, who's really at fault here?
That we will, Captain.
Yeah, the curator is definitely not going to like this. Oh dear. Yeah, maybe we'll use this teleporter to do something.
Security lockdown is in effect. Please
really gotta
enter
use the
access code.
Access code again? Okay. What was it again? VVSOP 2123? Okay. Oh, yeah, we haven't seen this before. Let's check out these other exhibits.
This display is all glistening angles of crystal, written on the plaque, an early example of the crystalline computers developed by the Lantoids of Tuner 9. Supposedly impossible to access by non-Lantoid life forms, the computer works on a combination of harmonics and light transmission. The Lantoids make physical contact with the computer to operate it. It is said that listening to a Lantoid operate the computer is like listening to a complex musical score played on delicate chimes. The Lantoids view programming as an art form.
Huh. It's kind of like Superman's computer.
I don't know how this works, but looking at it reminds me of the time when I was a boy working on my first electronics project. I built one of those old crystal radios. Maybe this computer somehow projects its answers into your mind.
It may be just looking at the crystals made you remember that, Captain.
It's possible. Are you now practicing psychology, Mr. Scott?
Oh, no, Captain. I'm just a simple country engineer.
Okay. What is this?
The schematics for a Dunkelberger automated worker Mark 12. The plaque reads, "The Dunkelberger automated worker Mark 12 was a successful entry in the early days of automated labor. The Mark 12 was designed to function as a cargo helper, allowing small manufacturers to cheaply compete against large corporations. Due to their small size, reliability, and obedience, these robots were often treated like pets and given names that were incorporated into their response systems. This particular version was called Barney."
Cute. Looks like a Roomba. Can I operate it?
We can't have it do anything until we get it running.
Okay. What about this?
Written on the plaque, Federation Scientific Probe Model 331-19A. The 331-19A was powered by a small fusion reactor, since removed. The 331-19A had considerable range but was considered slow. The 331-19A carried a 3-ton instrument array. This has also been removed from the display model. This particular probe was used to monitor the collision of Algiers 5 and Algiers 6. One of the double stars at the core of the Algiers system had begun to collapse to a brown dwarf stage, and the resulting fluctuations resulted in the planet's orbital paths crossing, which led to their collision.
I've used one of these before, Captain. Everyone notices the fusion reactor, but I'll bet they forgot the fuel cell that served as backup power for the instrument package. It's probably as dry as a bone after all these years.
Fuel cell, eh? Okay, let's see what we can salvage from each of these exhibits.
The access panel is stuck, Captain. I don't think any of us are strong enough to pull it free.
Okay. What can you do with this crystal computer?
This is an odd beastie, Captain. I'm not even sure how they powered this thing. It'd take days to begin to understand it.
You, Scotty?
I'm only human, Captain.
Okay. And this one is still not powered.
We can't have it do anything until we get it running.
How how do we get it running then? We still have these 3 or 4 objects that don't know what to do with.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Use the wire on this access
No,
point?
I don't think that's necessary.
Okay, maybe we'll have to go back here, go to another room first. Or maybe pick something up here. Yeah, what's this?
Security lockdown is in.
Okay, let me... BVSOP 2123. Uh-oh.
There they are! Shoot them!
Ooh. Oh, bad. Oh.
Load a previously saved game.
Okay, bad idea.
Restart the game. Quit the game. Load a previously saved.
Number 3 was the last one I did note. Yeah. Oh well. Guess I can skip all the dialogue.
The engine, the spacesuit, that way.
Okay, don't open this door.
Security lockdown.
Yes. 3. Yeah, I'm just gonna read all these again, but skipping. Sometimes
I don't know how it may be. It's possible. No,
in this game, just the fact that they know what to do will help.
Written on the plaque.
Will help figuring something out.
The plaque reads.
Okay.
The schematic.
They were not a bad machine, but sort of an evolutionary dead end.
I don't think we've seen the last of compact mobile automation, Mr. Scott.
I cannot agree, Mr. Chekhov. Automated systems technology makes these robots little better than toys.
But perhaps one day...
There are definitely advantages to having an informed and opinionated crew, but this conversation is not showing it.
The access panel is stuck.
Okay.
This is an odd beastie.
You, Scott?
I'm only...
And finally this.
We can't have it do it.
Okay. How do we get it running? Can you pick it up?
No effect.
Okay, let's go back to this. Looked like there was other stuff here, like this. This looked like an object I can pick up. Whatever it is.
The gas canister is a bit beat up from the fall, but still functional.
The curator mentioned these were in each room.
We could open the door and spray it on the terrorists.
If it's fast enough to stop them from using their phasers, it'll stop us too.
And they'd get a warning if the door started to open. Time enough to put the hostages in jeopardy.
Okay.
The plaque has been badly scoured by flying debris. The plaque has... Whatever used to be on this pedestal is now long gone. Whatever used... An old communications panel. On the plaque. This communication station was removed...
Yeah, I already saw that.
The plaque on the old machine...
Yeah, we could use the canister on the... use the teleporter to teleport the canister beyond the door.
I wouldn't put anything near that beastie until I at least get a good look at her.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I knew we were going to use this at some
I don't think McCoy would like this transporter, Captain. Even I would not want to use this one.
You? Not use a piece of equipment? Why not, Mr. Scott?
This little beastie put out a wee bit of energy discharge during transport. You've heard of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle?
Of course, Mr. Scott.
Well, this is the Mulligan certainty field, guaranteed to do bad things to you even Dr. McCoy cannot fix.
Oh.
You can block the radiation, but she's not something I'd want to play with unless I absolutely had to. You'd have to repair the wires anyway. And the power unit's been pulled out too.
Okay. I do have some wires here.
It wasn't easy, but the wiring's fixed, Captain.
It's never easy, is it, Mr. Scott?
Aye, Captain.
Okay, maybe you can use this ceramic thing to block the radiation. Okay, yeah, let me save here.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
Just in case things go bad again. 4.
Maybe we should wait until Mr. Scott has it fixed, Captain.
Okay, what else do you need?
This should work. I hope.
Okay. This?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Okay, is it fixed?
If we add one of the capacitors, we should have her ready to run, Captain.
Okay, go back to the previous room. Pick up one of the capacitors. Are they going to charge again or something?
An old-style phaser cannon capacitor. It is currently uncharged.
But are they charging?
The surface of the generator is a mass of melted wiring and metal. The only glow is from dissipating heat.
Maybe I'll pick up... Yeah, just in case. I don't know if...
Chekhov takes the capacitor.
I don't know if the capacitors need to be charged this time, so... I guess I'll try using it, if he says...
The capacitor can be connected to the transporter.
Yeah, okay, needs to be charged. So will they be charged?
We can't do anything with this mess. The capacitors are the only thing to survive. We can't do...
Okay, so how do we charge them now then? The second one just...
Chekhov takes the capacitor off of the Aurora generator.
Can you do something with this control panel? Communications array?
You think Uhura would like it if we swapped this one for hers?
Scotty, I never took you for having a death wish.
Actually, Captain, this one's not in bad shape. They took the transmitting gear and she's got no power, but other than that, she's in fine condition. They run a ship-shaped museum here.
Okay. Who's that?
The plaque on the old machine reads...
Maybe there's something on this room that can charge the capacitors. You mentioned this has a fuel cell.
Exactly where do you plan to put this, Captain?
I don't know.
Exactly where... Exactly where...
Maybe
no,
this?
I don't think...
Put the capacitor in the little robot.
There's only a wee bit of juice in this capacitor, but I think it'll be enough to power up the robot. It's a tight squeeze, Captain. I don't think we'll be able to get it back out once it's in. Should I go ahead and do it?
We could use the help, Mr. Scott. Energize the robot.
Yeah.
Not yet, Mr. Scott. We could use the help, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, I got a second capacitor. Ah, he's cute. Now maybe you can use him to open that panel.
I should get Mr. Scott to look at this.
Barney, open the pod bay door.
2001 reference. Okay. See what you can do.
I knew it. They forgot to take out the fuel cell. That fusion reactor always scares people enough that they forget the backup cell. It's dry now. You'd need to wet this beauty down and get a catalyst in her.
Okay. We can use a capacitor in here and then?
Not much reason to try to hook that up yet.
Okay.
If I talk, I can't work or think, Captain. We could probably get the fuel cell to generate power with a little work. It was made to be adaptable.
Okay.
Not much reason. There's no need for that, Captain. We'd be pressing our luck letting it poke around in there, Captain.
You use this to conduct electricity? Okay.
It's a good thing to build in so much flexibility. The silver isn't a bad catalyst and will act as a contact too.
Okay, and now we put the capacitor on the tree.
Not much reason to try to hook.
Come on.
Not much reason.
Yes, there's a reason. We need the capacitor charge to use the transporter. Come on. Hey, the robot follows us.
It'll take me at least another hour, Captain.
Scotty?
Sorry, Captain. I thought you said something to me.
Okay,
The capacitor can be connected to the transporter, but has little effect uncharged.
okay, why can't we charge it?
I don't understand what you want. I don't understand what...
Trying to charge the computer.
Not much reason to try to hook that up yet.
Jesus.
This seems pointless.
Make something. There's a kitty down here wanting attention. Where'd you go? Look at this guy. What do you want? You want some attention? Okay, you can stay up here. You're just sleeping on the couch back there. If you behave, you can stay. Okay, he went to the bed.
Written on the plaque. This seems pointless.
Yeah, what do I do now? Oh.
You remove the silver tray.
Okay, why did I do that? Maybe if I...
No, I don't think... No, I don't think...
Okay, put the tray back.
It's a good thing to build in so much...
Okay, maybe I need something else.
There's nothing I can do, Captain. They were not a bad machine, but sort of an evolutionary dead end.
I don't think we've seen the...
I cannot...
but perhaps one day.
There are definitely advantages to having...
We'd be pressing our luck. If I talk...
I hope we get the terrorists soon, Captain. I'm afraid we might be late if we don't hurry.
Maybe...
I should get Mr. Scott to look at this.
Oh, I thought I did. Did Scott activated the thing, maybe?
The tray can do double duty. We just need to wet her down and she'll start generating.
Oh, wet her down. Maybe I need to put the cognac on it. Okay. Okay.
I hate to see a sweet liquid used for something other than tasting. But at least it'll work a fair bit in here.
Okay. Now use the capacitor.
All hooked up and charging, Captain.
So just wait a little bit. Forgot how much time it took for the capacitor to charge in the other room. I'm assuming it will take a few seconds as well. There you go. That should do it.
All ready to go, Captain.
Okay. We go back to the other room and use the capacitor to charge the transporter to transport the gas canister into the room with the terrorists so they can be incapacitated. That's the plan.
It's in there, Captain.
Okay, let me save before I do anything. Just in case
Save
I'm
new
forgetting
previous.
some crucial step.
It's inside. We should wait until it's time to transport before we activate the valve.
Good idea, Ensign.
I don't understand what you want me to do, Captain. We're about as ready as we can get, Captain. I'll have the robot open the gas valve and I'll transport on your signal. Shall we give it a go?
What do you want? I jump on my tap.
Energize, Mr. Scott. Let's hold off for now, Mr. Scott.
What do you want? One more pet. Come here. I thought you were going to sleep on the bed. Little guy. What do you want? Want more pet? Okay. And stick around.
Energize, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, the robots activated the canister, okay. Okay. Maybe I guess
Security
now it's...
lockdown is in effect.
I guess now it's safe to open the door.
Access code.
PVSOP 2123, yeah.
The gas worked.
Mr. Chekhov, have Dr. McCoy beam down to make sure the curator and guards are all right. Mr. Scott, lower the museum's shields and have a security team beamed aboard. Captain's log supplemental. With the terrorist unconscious, it was an easy matter to turn off the security override. The terrorist turned out to be from another family from Lockheed, the Onakan, a family with a long history of feuding with the Soransi, who also claimed the probe. The probe was the very same probe that discovered Lockean and had enormous symbolic importance to the families on the planet. Curator Brezhnev was treated by Dr. McCoy and is in good health. Commendations are in order for Scott and Chekhov for meritorious service. Lieutenant Uhura, send a message to Admiral Richards. Tell him he owes me more than he thinks he does.
Aye, sir. I have a feeling he's not going to be surprised.
I'm afraid I'm going to remember this mission with a great deal of sadness, Captain.
Why is that, Mr. Scott?
It was such a fine cognac, Captain. It was just waiting for us, and now it's gone forever. Such a waste. You always remember the one that got away.
Sure, Scott.
Captain, message incoming from Starfleet.
I see they got our report. On screen.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. Well done, Kirk. Keep up the good work. I must say, however, your performance is not what we've come to expect from James T. Kirk. I guess we all have our off days, Captain. Kane out.
Pretty good. Okay. That's mission accomplished, I guess. Okay. Next episode. Oh, this
Captain's log, stardate 6169.3. While delivering supplies to outposts near Klingon and Romulan space, we received a distress signal from the Romulan neutral zone.
On screen, Captain.
This is Sub-Commander Guyon of the Warbird Infinitus. We are under attack. Assist us, please.
Transmission jammed at the source, sir. The transmission originated on the Romulan side of the neutral zone.
Captain, this could be a setup. The Romulans might be trying to lure us into a treaty violation.
We can't interfere in Romulan business. Take us to our next mission. Set course warp factor 8. I'm not going to ignore a distress call, even if it is a Romulan.
Yeah.
We can't set course warp factor. Captain's log supplemental. In answer to a distress signal, we are crossing the Romulan neutral zone in violation of treaty. We are approaching the source of the distress signal.
We are now entering the Romulan neutral zone.
Let me save.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
One.
Captain, a Romulan warbird is approaching toward us on an intercept course.
Hail it, Uber.
I have an audio response only.
So, now it is the Federation that tries to stop me from winning my prize.
Romulan ship is approaching on an attack vector.
Uh-oh. Well, we'll have to leave that for next time. That's a good Good cliffhanger, I guess. Let's quit the game. So yeah, this should be the final 2 chapters. Let's see here. Yeah, though this be madness is chapter 8, and then there's it's chapter 7, and then there's chapter 8, and that should be the final one. So yeah, we're already at over 2.5 hours in stream. So I guess it's a good place to leave it, to stop. And yeah, well, next time should be the finale of Star Trek Judgement Rites. So yeah, I hope you had fun watching. Let's see what my next streams will be. Yeah, this Saturday I'll be going back to Heretic, and then Sunday we'll be going back to Stonekeep, and then on next Tuesday, a week from now, we'll be going back to the Star Trek Judgement Rites finale. Yeah. So remember, if you like these kind of retro style games and point-and-click adventures and platformers, RPGs and FPSs, remember to give the channel a follow, because I play a lot of them on the channel. And yeah, if you missed the previous parts of this playthrough, you can check it on my archives on Twitch and on YouTube. You look at the channel, you can watch the other streams. And yeah, hope you guys had fun. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.